single time I look like a pirate, and not like a sexy, like Halloween pirate, you know, like an actual pirate, and it's not the vibe. Anyways, I'm just gonna talk about the books I read in December 2021. Oh, Happy New Year. It is 2022. Anyways, I read 4 books in December. 2 of them are audiobooks and 2 of them are physical, because I did a lot of crocheting in December, so the audiobooks get me entertained while I made my Christmas sweater, my Weasley Christmas sweater. But I also read a good chunk of I've been talking about it for almost a year now, the fan fiction, All the Young Dudes by Miss Kingpee in 89. We love her here. I am obsessed. There was a lot. I read a lot of it in December. Still not done. Almost done though. Not kind of almost. I'm more than halfway through. I am on 7th year, which there's a lot of 7th year chapters. Then there's a lot of war chapters, and then like the aftermath of that, and it goes up until like I'm pretty sure like 1998. So there's like still a good few years left. It's a lot. I'm overwhelmed. But okay, so to start with, I finally finished, like, after like a year and a half, I'm in Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. It's very good. Lots of cute little annotations up in here. Okay. I bought this book in 2018. And I kept putting it off, but I wish someone had told me that the general, like, agreed upon way to read this, which there's no right or wrong way, like, the agreed upon general consensus is that you kind of like pick it up and put it down as you like see fit, because it's filled with like a lot of different like myths and stories, and it's very, very good. I loved it, but you can't just read it in one go. I've never heard of anyone doing that, but I didn't know that until last year when I started reading it officially, because I think I'd read like a couple. I read like the introduction when I first got it, and then I was like, I can't do this right now, which is fine. I can't fucking read. But basically, like, it's not meant to be just, like, devoured. Like, you're supposed to take your time with it and everything. So what says next, take your time reading. The work was written slowly over a long period of time. I wrote, went away, and thought about it, came back and wrote some more, went away, thought some more, and came back and wrote some more. Most people read this work the way it was written, a little at a time, then go away, think about it, then come back again. That is literally like, I wish this quote was like on the back somewhere, because I think that would be really helpful to people picking it up without like the internet, you know what I mean? Like, no one said anything to me about how to read this book, you know, but that was very interesting. I should probably read the back because I'm not good at putting things into words, and I would like to do this book justice. I do recommend it. She's a little worn out. Also, at least in this edition, it's like, I think this is like the mass market paperback, but when you put sticky things down, this is a good example. When you put sticky things down and then pick them up to move them, it like takes some of the words with it. I don't know if you can see that. And then, so it's just kind of, the ink is not well, but that's okay. Anyways, within every woman there lives a powerful force filled with good instincts, passionate creativity, and ageless knowing. She is the wild woman who represents the instinctual nature of women, but she is an endangered species. In Women Who Run with the Wolves, Dr. Estes unfolds rich intercultural myths, fairy tales, and stories, many from her own family, in order to help women reconnect with the fierce, healthy, visionary attributes of this instinctual nature. Through the stories and commentaries in this remarkable book, we retrieve, examine, love, and understand the wild woman and hold her against our deep psyches as one who is both magic and medicine. Dr. Estes has created a new lexicon for describing the female psyche. Fertile and life-giving, it is a psychology of women in the truest sense, a knowing of the soul. Okay, now I'm actually going to talk about the audiobooks I listened to. The first one is One Day in December by Josie Silver. I listened to it on Libby, and I was surprised by how much I actually ended up loving it, because it, like, I knew going in that it was going to be a little uncomfortable, because basically, this girl, it's told from, okay, what are their names? I always do this. Lori, it swaps between the perspectives of Lori and Jack. Lori, one day, she's on a bus in, like, London or something, and, it's, like, around Christmas time in December, and she sees this guy, which is Jack, outside the window, and, like, they have this, like, love at first sight, like intense connection, and, like, she's like, oh my god, what do I do? And then, like, when we see from his perspective, he's thinking the same thing. He goes to get on the bus eventually, like, to run at her. Obviously it's described, like, more eloquently, but, like, he's like, oh my god, I gotta meet this girl. He does not get on the bus in time. It drives away. So then she spends the next, like, year searching for a busboy with her best friend Sarah. So, like, a year later, around the same time, Sarah's like, hey girl, I need you gotta meet my new boyfriend. Who's the new boyfriend? Busboy. And then they both don't books, their real date, and then so they fake date, and it's a fake dating to real dating situation, and like I loved it. It was good. It was steamy. It was emotional, romantic, everything. And I'm really excited because, first of all, this was also an audiobook on Libby. And I've said this with a couple before that, like, if I really like the book that I listen to, I would eventually in life like to get the physical copy to have on my bookshelf. And I think this one I definitely will, because I really I loved it, but also there is a second book that is called Hang the Moon, and it is about Darcy's brother, Brendan, who I adored. He was amazing, and it's about him finding love too, and they get their own like little like appearances throughout the book. So I'm dying to read that. And then this year, or it's expected to come out this year, there will be Count Your Lucky Stars, which is about Elle's roommate Margot also finding love, and then we get the other characters coming in too, and like I was very into it, and it's very much like Written in the Stars is very much you have like the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but you have Elle, who's into like astrology and romance, and Darcy, who's very like strict and serious and doesn't really believe in that stuff. So it's like you get to see these two different personalities come together, and so I'm just really excited to read about the rest of the characters and see like what Elle and Darcy are up to in the background. And I would definitely like to have those 3 books on my shelf. So eventually I'm gonna do that. But I'm really happy that I read that. Full 5 stars. So good. Definitely recommend. And then the last book that I read was my yearly reread. You've seen it before. It is Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Meyercomb. 3 holiday romance stories. It's pretty quick and light for the holidays, and it's also it gets quicker the more times you read it, according to Goodreads. This was the 4th time I've read it, but like I said before, I don't know if there was a time when I wasn't logging on Goodreads, so like it could have been the 5th, but I think it was the 4th. I'm not sure though. I think it was the 4th. But that was very exciting. I mean, I wouldn't say very exciting, but it's just nice to like return to like the same stories, like kind of like how people watch the same Christmas movies every year, holiday movies. Like it's just returning into this world that you were in before. So I liked it. It always makes me crave hash browns every time I read it. But hey, that's life. But that's it really. And then I spent the last like week or so of the year just reading All the Young Dudes and enjoying that, and not stressing about starting a new book. It was just good times, good way to end off the month. I mean the year. Just finishing off like a book that I'd been reading for like a year and a half. I don't know if I said that. And then like just getting to reread, getting to continue read. Like it was 10 years ago today. 10 years ago today. Which would make me how old? 13, going on 14, I think. Oh my god, I almost said 12 at first. I have no idea what year we're in. But either way, I had no idea I still had this. And I saw it in my closet when I was getting ready to film this. And I was like, oh my god, that's the shirt, that's the song, that must be the girl. So I thought I'd wear it. It's taking me back to like, I don't know, the Tumblr days. Oh god, oh my god. And real quick before I go, yesterday I watched the Harry Potter special on HBO. Oh no, I didn't watch it on HBO. I don't have it. I found it online, which was a huge surprise to me. And I fucking bawled my eyes out to it. And yeah, that's all I even wanted to say about it. Like, I just love those bitches so much. Like, they're so funny. And like, oh god, I just love them. I think that Helena Bonham Carter was the star of the show. She was so funny. And like, I won't spoil it because you should watch it. And even if you don't have HBO Max, you can find it online, but you didn't hear from me. Just Google it, it's there. I was actually really shocked by how easily I found it, and it was like regular quality, but the only thing is, it was before at least the version I found, I didn't want to push my luck, so I just watched this one, but the version I found was before the corrections. So if you don't know, they actually, when they show a childhood picture of Emma Watson in the beginning, it's actually Emma Roberts, so someone fucked up. And then the other correction that they made was James and Oliver Phelps, their names were swapped. And some people think that they did this as a joke because of the way they like always pulled this prank or whatever. But no one actually knows for sure. But either way, they corrected it in the updated version. But I just wanted to let y'all know, I watched it, I cried, like, oh, like I was already like tearing up throughout, but like towards the end they started hitting these like emotional punches, like, to me, and I was just sobbing. Oh my god, love them. Anyways, let me know. I say this in literally every single video, even if it's not a book video, but let me know what you've been reading, what you're reading this month, what your reading goals are for the year. I don't know. If you have any, you don't have to have any. I set mine to 60 on Goodreads this year because my goal was 50 and I got to over 50, so I thought 60 was like okay, but we'll see what happens. Also, even if you're not watching this in January of 2022 when I'm filming it, like, this could be like a month from now or whatever, you could still comment and tell me what you're reading. I don't care, I'll still see it. Like, time doesn't exist, it's not real, time isn't real, so you could still tell me, it's okay. Okay, I'm starting to get a little chaotic now. Not starting to, that's really just my vibe. Today I actually texted my cousin, and congratulated on her baby that she had weeks ago. Like, it's so sick. Like, I was like, sorry, this is late. Like, imagine she's like, she's starting preschool next week, but thanks anyways. It's been a little chaotic, so I'm gonna go, probably like take a nap or something. I hope you're doing well and staying safe, because we're still in a Pangea